Grand Solday, everybody. Freighter 5 here with another video. I was very happy with the amount of views that I got in the last video that I made pertaining to Luzerne County Family Court regarding Judge Stephanie Salavantes and Attorney Michael Beltrami. I am going to be going over a few more things that I'd like just to follow that video up. I'm going to request Saturn block any and all incoming negative energies, return them to sender, and keep me flowing as I invoke my Zion inner throat energies and empower myself within Z. I invoke the power of Saturn into my life. Come to me strict and austere, teacher. Help me build the forms that I desire. Teach me to accept and understand my personal circumstances. Help me grow in wisdom, in fairness, and in all ways of my life. I want to go over a few more things that I found that these people violated. So, not only is this a civil matter, this is family court, this is also criminal and constitutional. So, I'm going to begin with PA Rule 902, evidence that is self-authenticating. So I'm going to use analogies because it's my favorite way to convey information when I am speaking to a group of people. This is a bag of cat shit. I just cleaned a litter box, allegedly, and this is just a bunch of nonsense that I'm telling you what it is, even though there's actually no valid grounds. It's not admissible as per state and federal law. And, well, it's cat shit. This is a binder of evidence. This right here is court records, PFAs, police records, statements from children and youth, caseworkers, track record accountability, emails, correspondences, and memos. This is authenticating. This would fall under certified copies of public records. That is paragraph 4 of Rule 902. These are official publications because some of this stuff was publicized in the newspaper under certain circumstances due to the nature of the occurrence. I don't want to keep repeating myself with the same word. Newspapers, periodicals, paragraph 7, acknowledged documents, certified domestic records, and certified data copied from an electronic device storage medium and or file share service. We also have 225 PA Code Rule 901, authenticating or identifying evidence. Section 7, evidence about public records, document that was recorded or filed in a public office as authorized by law, which would be records that were, well, some of these were filed in the Pathonetary office. I'm just a little bit perplexed because at the time when I went to pull those records up, some of them seem to be missing from the files, the archives, and despite my looking for exactly what I knew should have been present, it was non-existent in the computer systems on their end, which I find weird. Again, this is why I maintain an archive of all my documents of relevant subject matter for the last, 12 years. Now, when something happens like perjury, perjury is willingly testifying to a fact, knowing that it's true with the intent to deceive a court. Now, I ran pro se, so I was self-representative. I am by law considered a lawyer, and with me being considered a lawyer, I have certain duties and functions and roles, and there are certain things that I am entitled to, such as when a judge and an attorney illegally interview a minor and tell me that I am not allowed to be present in the room. They'll be right out. This will take 10 minutes. You are not only denying my human rights, You are denying me due process, and you are denying me my right as my own attorney to be present in the process. Now, due process applies to both civil and criminal matters, and denying due process is not only unconstitutional. Due process of law is application by state of all legal rules and principles pertaining to a case, so all legal rights that are owed to a person are respected, and it balances the law and protects us from it. Now, from what I was told from my daughter, you guys not only executed a line of questioning that was 100% aimed at my character in a defamatory, slanderous, and illegal fashion, I might add. You entered the room with the intent to coercively control, manipulate, or corrupt a minor, which is a third-degree felony, by the way, punishable by 7 years and $15,000 in fines. You know, I might also add that Rule 902 is also a federal crime, and then that would also go into abuse of power, which is criminal, and a white-collar crime, which is, again, 5+ years in prison. The fourth federal law, 18 U.S.C. 1918, provides penalties for violations of oath of office described in 5 U.S.C. 7511, which means you can either remove yourself from office, you're going to be removed from office, you're going to jail, or you get a fine. Now, when we actively participate in things that are detrimental to our oath of office once we are sworn in a position of power, and we utilize that power in an abusive fashion to undermine the justice system or target an individual for harassment, manipulation, or gain an upper hand due to some kind of weird possible bribery, cash payout, I don't know, maybe you guys are all just good friends and hang out at the same country club and, you know, chit-chat and, you know, all get along, which, again, would all be a conflict of interest, abuse of power, and this is all federal and criminal. Now, what happens to a judge when she commits a criminal fine? She not only willingly violates her oath of office, but it null and voids any contracts that she may or may not have executed and or signed in the past. So at this point, not only have you violated my human rights, denied me due process, broke the Constitution, violated your oath of office, executed and utilized abuse of power, and blatantly disregarded law on a state, federal, constitutional, civil, and ethical level, you just don't give a shit. So now I get the position to call you out online and publicly talk about your mishaps. So June 6th, 2023 at 4:31 p.m., I had emailed Ms. Salavantes' office as a second attempt to let her know that perjury took place in her courtroom, providing sufficient evidence on accountability on my end to let her know what had transpired, the perjury that I am allegedly happened, and sufficient facts to the subject matter supporting my claim, to which I got a reply stating I was acting ex parte. It was blatantly disregarded. Nothing was done. So now I'm wondering, is this an eminent domain thing? I mean, when you guys assigned my supervisor for my weekend visits, not only did he tell me he has no idea why you guys actively picked him for me without me being present in the meeting, denying my constitutionally protected rights and due process, he said, I'm not wasting my time and it's a $400 minimum. So why would a judge and attorney work together in cahoots to take a child off a parent, to put him somewhere where they're homeless, and homelessness, let's get into homelessness before I get too off track. Homelessness under McKinney-Vento Law Act is called and defined. It is a full understanding of the definition of homelessness under McKinney-Vento. McKinney-Vento Act's definition is broader than some of other federal definitions because it includes children and youth who are sharing of housing with others, that is family, friends, and or any variation in between, due to loss of housing. That is called doubled up. Now, sharing of housing due to economic hardships and similar reasons. Couch surfing is also considered homelessness, and this is referenced under education.pa.gov. So this isn't some nonsense I'm just making up. That was disregarded. Title 42, burden of proof, defamation of character. When I have some crazy woman entering the office in the building where I live, making outlandish statements that I'm this raging drug addict in an attempt to get me evicted, while telling other tenants outside of my residence that I do this, that, and the third, and then I have people bad-mouthing me at the public area where I get to enjoy my amenities, harassing my kids, making crazy statements against me to other tenants, and then I have people approaching me because in no way, shape, or form do I fill that shoe. So, Title 42 is burden of proof. Burden to plaintiff. First paragraph, A. Section B, third sentence. Okay? There was never any proof provided. Again, we are talking about cat shit to track record and accountability. Title 42 is criminal and civil, and that's punishable by 6 months to 1 year with a $500 to $5,000 fine. Granted, you don't get sued in the process for defamation of character, slander, and libel. Slander being civil itself, a false statement purporting to be fact, causing damages or harm. And I gotta tell you, you guys did a good job running my name through the ground. So now I'm gonna do a good job providing facts to the subject matter, raising awareness to what you guys are doing in this office, because you guys hold positions of power. You are official persons. This should not be happening. Next, I'm going to go over forgery. Forgery. In Pennsylvania, a person is guilty of forgery if, with intent to defraud or injure anyone, or with knowledge that he or she is facilitating a fraud or injury to be perpetrated by another person, the actor. That is a second-degree felony. That is punishable by 5 to 10 years with a fine of $10,000 to $25,000. And that's also just the entryway of that charge, because lawsuits do sometimes follow, and I promise you they will. I have a handful of lawyers right now, constitution lawyers with criminal and civil lawyers, all rights lawyers, that are fighting for me to hire them at this point. So if you guys are possibly taking bribes, bribery is 3 times the value of the bribe, 15 years in jail, and that's federal. Like I said in the last video, I believe this is racketeering at its finest, which is punishable by 20 years in jail, and also has severe financial penalties. So next I'm going to get into PA Rule 8.1, bar admission in disciplinary matters. Knowingly making a false statement or material fact. There was discrepancies. You didn't even know how old the child was in this case. You did no homework. You did no homework. You lied about dates, you lied about relevant facts, and you lied about the subject matter because your statement changed 3 times in 1 month. And I have record of all. I've got proof of claim, court-stamped, archived, prothonotary stamped records, not moot. Moot is irrelevant. This cat shit is moot. This long track record of accountability and case history is not moot. This is relevant to the subject matter. But if we're taking bribes and possibly, having back-end deals and ham-washing, yes, absolutely, that's moot. None of this matters because the Honorable Judge Rogers found out none of this important when she was making her decisions. Judge Toohill granted me full custody immediately after speaking to my child and reviewing the case records. None of this must have been relevant to her. She must have been going off of a bag of cat shit like you did. Next, we got 8.4, misconduct. Sections A, violate or attempt to violate the rules of professional conduct, knowingly assist or introduce another to do so, or do so through the acts of another. So not only did you use coercive tactics on a minor, you were also in the hallway dictating your testimony with a client of yours who is on probation for methamphetamine use and distribution and was taking drug tests on what was called the color system, whose PO is Patrick Padula up in Scranton. Now, when I had informed everybody of this was completely dismissed. Now, the penalty for perjury while on probation is much more severe, especially when you have a pre-existing drug use history. I have a clean record. I've got a ton of speeding tickets because I drive like an asshole. Section B, commit a criminal act that reflects adversely on a lawyer's honesty, trustworthiness, or fitness as a lawyer in other respects. You literally bragged in October 2022 during our last hearing about how you have everybody in your back pocket. You had, good luck at this in Supreme Court. Guess what? I contacted the Supreme Court. They were very interested in what I had to say. Not only that, you illegally represented your client. You committed perjury and forgery under C. Engage in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation. That's Rule 8.4, misconduct. Look it up, sir. E. State or imply an ability to influence improperly a government agency or official or to achieve results by means that violate the rules of professional conduct or other law. You literally stated you own everybody in your back pocket, right? I mean, sounds like a clear and concise message to me if you're asking me. You were speaking intentional, so I can't imagine you meaning anything other than what you stated as fact and whole and true and absolute. F. Knowingly assist a judge or judicial officer in conduct that is the violation in appliance rules of judicial conduct of other law. You broke constitutional law. You broke criminal law. You broke civil law. You violated my rights. You disregarded my daughter's rights. There is 2 injured bodies right now that you have violated a plethora of criminal charges. And let me tell you, judicial immunity does not cover you once you commit a criminal charge. And qualified immunity is completely out the window with all of this. Rule 1.7, conflict of interest. I'm pretty sure you needed to get informed consent and let your clients know you were representing one another because you used relevant facts from one case in another case, brought them up, disregarded code of ethics, and I got threatened to be held in contempt and put in jail because I was citing actual law that you were violating. Can't imagine why a judge would disregard those that she's sworn in under her oath to uphold and protect in an unbiased and fair manner. Yeah, that's about all I gotta say. Other than the fact that, the judge violated my constitutional rights, criminal rights. You committed criminal crimes. You violated my constitution and my constitutional and my civil rights. And the attorney, as per Rule 1.7, violated Rule 3.8 in PA, did not act in accordance to Rule 8.4, Rule 8.2, and but not limited to Rule 8.1. You disregarded your obligation to your duties. You committed perjury, forgery. You acted with the intent to deceive by giving fake times and dates via email. You illegally interviewed a minor with a judge, coercively controlling with a tactic to utilize manipulation. You completely disregarded the fact that I was running pro se and denied me entry into an interview that I had by all means and every right to be present for. And you utilized the fact that I ran pro se as an advantage to implement your unethical tactics. So I'm going to say a prayer to your ancestors. I'm going to say a prayer to your past loved ones. I pray that they are not ashamed of you. And I pray that they hope you do better in life. And I hope that they protect you in this. Because as of right now, I'm going to keep going because the longer this goes, the more evidence that I'm finding in my bins of old archives. This is just the beginning. I have a whole bin of records for my case over the last 10 years. A whole bin. But that's all moot, right? That's just cat shit. So I hope for your sake, these lawyers that are fighting over handling this case right now, don't help me put your ass in federal prison faster. That's given that the FBI don't grab you up. Because, like I said, I did contact the feds. So I'm sure a lot of people heard that I'm going crazy and manic that I contacted these people. I'd be crazy and manic if I wasn't getting responses, if they weren't being investigated, and I didn't already agree to testify. And yes, I will be testifying. I mean, short of you guys, hiring somebody to shut me up, but good luck with that, because short of killing me, you ain't gonna do nothing to me, I promise you. And I have already agreed across the board to all to make sure that I am present the day that you guys sit in that federal court. And I'm going to ensure that you guys get put away for every charge that we can find under the sun. And this is the homework I did. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert. I can't imagine what these guys could find under you guys with their special devices and all that good equipment that they got and unlimited funding. So, since you guys like destroying families, let's play. Have a good day.